And welcome to the Movie Madhouse. I'm Rob.
I'm James.
Hey,
I'm Jason.
there we go.
Yay!
And we're back. We figured this out.
We just
How
have to
you
get
guys
creative.
doing?
I'm hurting, but I'm alive.
Hurting? Why you
Well,
hurting?
we've started getting our living space back from that flood from a few months ago.
Oh,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
that's
So we
right.
laid some laminate flooring and trim and have been painting and stuff. And my body's just not built for that stuff anymore.
Right?
So,
It's all about the
but
couch.
uh, this was just our bedroom. Like,
That's what my body's built for, is the couch. That's literally. That's
okay, I got you.
yes. That was my attempt at humor, and it will stop now.
You forgot your flag again.
I know, right?
We told you need to have a flag years ago. There you go. All right.
My little comedy flag.
Right.
All right. So you guys ready for today's topic?
Yes,
What was
sir.
today's topic again?
What is today's topic?
Yeah, I forget.
Let me just do a quick banner here. 10 movies based on. There. I knew you'd like that one. And there it is.
Video games. Really?
Yes.
Oh, I'll wing it.
What list did you do?
You don't want to know.
He did top 10 movies he watched while playing video games.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
I'm
Okay.
kidding. I'm kidding.
I know it's all porn. Okay. Let's. You know what?
Like I watch a full movie.
That's the best 5 seconds I've ever watched.
3 minutes, maybe 4. Come on now.
Yeah, you get. Oh, dude. See, movies last me forever. 10 seconds, stop. Okay, I'll start it again tomorrow.
Moving on.
Yes. So now I'm curious what your number 10 is.
Oh, you're gonna start with me? All right. My number 10 is actually it was a brand new watch. I watched specifically because of this topic.
Mm-hmm.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh, you did watch it.
I watched
Oh.
it. I watched it last week because of this list. I had not watched it yet, so I watched it for the first time and I dug it. It wasn't perfect, but it was a lot. It was fun, and I liked the visual effects involved, and I thought it was a passable story, and the acting was decent, and it was fun. I liked it.
Now, have you played Sonic?
Yeah, I'm not a huge Sonic fan. I've never been really that good at side scrollers, but I'm very familiar with Sonic, but I don't know much if there was a story to them or anything. I just know he gets chased by Dr. Robotnik. So,
And gathers rings. So
right.
now, how does it compare to the game? Other than the
Well,
characters, is it relative to the game?
um, not exactly. So I found it funny that when he comes to Earth, because he's not from here initially, he lands in Green Hills, Montana, which is the first zone of the Sonic game.
Stage 1.
Huh.
Okay, now the ring thing is actually something that he uses to can use to teleport to different worlds. It opens up a portal. So he has to protect these rings because to save himself.
Okay.
And then Dr. Robotnik, is from Earth, he's like the ultimate. He's like Elon Musk but gone crazy.
Okay.
So, so when he discovers Sonic's power and how it's limitless and all, he's trying to steal it, and that's your premise.
Okay. So it does kind of follow the game.
Somewhat, yes.
Because that's kind of based my list on that. Like the last 4 don't, but they're still fun movies. But the
Hmm.
other 6 are good and they really are faithful to the game.
That's the hard part with a lot of video game movies. A lot of them aren't that faithful.
Yeah.
But but they could still be good. So you kind of get. I can't say for sure how my list pans out in that respect. I just know that I enjoyed these ones, and there's a couple that I can definitely say are true to the game. So And Sonic, well, Sonic may not. Again, I don't know if the Sonic games really have a full on story, but for what it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Hey, James. Other James.
Hello.
So, James, you got to tell us what's your number 10 video game movie, and this James
My-
too.
Yeah. My number 10 from 1995, the original Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat.
That's my number 8.
This one, I saw this one in the theater with my best friend, and it's just, I haven't watched it in several years, but I remember like this one was really cool with an awesome soundtrack, and Christopher Lambert as
Raiden.
well, no, as Raiden, but I think him and Lyndon Ashby were kind of the comic relief because he had the quips that he'd throw in there because he's this all powerful lightning god.
Mhm.
Just like they fight a bunch of guys. Okay. What about those guys?
I got to admit, I've never watched that movie.
The original one?
Never.
Oh, it's cool.
I liked it, and you want to talk about being true to the source? They really played that well.
Yeah.
They
Avoid
really-
annihilation at all costs. It is an abomination of a movie. Oh,
Well, we were talking before this about Google Drive and how much I'm liking it a lot. It just earned my respect that much more because I wrote Mortal Kombat with a C, and it corrected me
there you go.
to a K. It's like,
Yeah.
damn, that's good.
This is Mortal Kombat is the movie that made me realize that you can't really put a lot of stock into film critics' opinions, because I was watching at the movies. I don't think Siskel. I don't think Siskel was there anymore. I think it was just Ebert at this point. He might have had a guest co-host or whatever. I can't remember, but he gave it 2 thumbs down. Which, okay, sure, might not be his fare, but his biggest gripe was the movie was too dark. It's a combat tournament film with the fate of the world at stake. It's a friggin' dark premise, sir.
It's
And
Blood
pretty-
Sport on steroids.
And pretty graphic deaths when you kill someone.
Finish him. Yep.
So that critique made no. Obviously, he's not familiar with the source material, so that just destroyed his critique for me. And it was from that point on that I don't really put a whole lot of stock in critic reviews. I do, to get the vibe and the feel. I think I might enjoy it, but I really don't put a lot of weight to them anymore.
Good idea. Grain of salt.
Yeah.
And Mortal Kombat will cause that.
Oh, James typed in Silent Hill game, creepy as hell. Then the movie. Yes.
Nice.
I've never seen the movie. I forgot they made a movie for that.
They made 2 movies.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, my number 10, and this shows you exactly how far outside of the realm of game realistic it is. Resident Evil 2002.
The original first Resident Evil movie?
Yep.
Nice. I
I
recently rewatched all of them.
I watched that over and over, and it has no connection to the game other than the T virus and the zombies. Like none of the characters are there.
Mm-hmm. It's in my honorable mentions.
He always finds when Siskel and Ebert judge a film, it had to be artsy.
Exactly.
They were very much like that. Yes, they were. You know? Or it had to be a major blockbuster of some kind.
Mm-hmm.
If it was like Die Hard or something like that, they'd go along with it. Otherwise, all art all the way.
Yep.
But Resident Evil. Mila Jovovich as Alice, and the zombie dogs. What can I say? That movie is just tons of fun.
Yeah, but what's the thing people remember most? The laser grid scene.
Right?
That or her jumping up off the wall and like roundhouse kicking the zombie dog in the face.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Now, in my personal circle of friends, there is one moment at the very end of the film that's actually more memorable. and this will tell you about my friends, because when
Oh,
she wakes up in the hospital room
Yeah.
and she jumps off the bed, for a split second, you can pause and you can see her hoo-ha.
Yeah, and she points it out on the commentary herself.
Yeah, I think we talked about this, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yes, I think we have.
I remember. All right, Jason, number 9.
My iPad's going crazy. My number 9. There we go. From 1999, Pokemon, the first movie.
Oh, really?
Of course, at the time, I had my 2 kids that were big into Pokemon, and that movie, yes, it's animated, okay, but it has some really good heart and a great story.
Hey, Greg.
I haven't watched it in a long time, but I remember actually like really getting invested during the big climax.
When Ash gets frozen or turned to rock or whatever.
Right?
Yeah.
And Pikachu tries to save, it was really, really well done.
I remember taking the kids to see that one, Ryan and Shannon. And yes, that was a fun movie to watch.
Mm-hmm.
They just did a new version of it. The First Evolution, I think it's called now. With CGI graphics.
Did they?
Yes.
Huh. I might have to check that out.
I'm going to check on the name of that because, like I said, I think it's called The First Evolution.
I know they've done other films, and I think we might have watched 1 or 2, but none of them really held me like the first one did. None of them really stood out like that. But if they did like a remastered or whatever you want to call it for the original, that could be kind of cool.
Well, they do that occasionally. An anniversary edition.
True, yeah, something like that. But we'll get to it later because there's something similar that's going to be on my list much later. So
something similar.
Yeah.
There it is.
That sounds familiar.
I don't know if it's the same film though.
It is 100% the same film.
It is.
I've watched both.
Okay. It is the same film, just with CGI graphics.
Yep.
Okay, because I saw that. I had seen that come up when I was doing my initial list, but I thought it was a different film. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the opening where Mewtwo is in the lab.
Oh right. Yes.
So yeah, it is, and it's not bad, but it is identical. Like even at the end, Ash is turned to rock, and yeah, it's just.
I might have to check that out.
Interesting.
Yes. So James, number 9.
Number 9 from 2005, Doom.
Really?
Is this not on either of your lists?
It's my number 9.
No. I thought it was a super fun movie. Very funny. The Rock, Carl Urban, the original Night King, Richard Brake, as Portman.
I'll be honest.
Oh man,
I only vaguely remember the film. That's how well it held me. And I remember they tried to do the cheesy first-person angle, which kind of worked a little bit, but it didn't really stand out to me.
They should have named Hardcore Henry Doom. Man.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, and I don't know. I thought the effects were great. I thought it was. I'm not very familiar with the game, although I've heard about it for years. And actually, in my honorable mentions, it almost made the list. Was the direct-to-video one they put out, I think last year, something called Doom Annihilation, which got just ripped apart critically across the board. And I'm not surprised. I just managed to see it at Walmart a few times. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to pick this up. And I thought it was a hell of a lot better than the critics or reviewers gave it credit for.
Interesting.
But yeah, I liked Doom quite a bit.
Oh yeah, there it is. Doom.
Maybe I should revisit it.
Rosamund Pike, Carl Urban, Ben Daniels, Dexter Fletcher. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, okay. Apparently it's a 3.6 on IMDb.
What? The Doom Annihilation?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it got I read the reviews and they were horrible, but sometimes that means like I want to see just how bad this is.
Yeah.
And then I was somewhat impressed.
I've done
But
that.
again, that's in my honorable mentions. This
I do
Doom
that
has
too often.
this Doom has a 5.2 on IMDb.
Yeah. And a much better cast.
Yeah, you wouldn't really recognize anyone from Doom Annihilation.
Nope. So yeah, I have to agree with you on that one. That's my number 9.
Excellent.
So that jumps us to number 8, which we know Jason's is Mortal Kombat. So
Get over here.
you, number 8.
Okay. Abiding by Jason's rule of only allowing one Uwe Ball video game movie on this list, while I'll freely admit, House of the Dead is by no means a great or good movie. I get a lot of enjoyment out of it. This one, I genuinely find to be a good movie. I think it's cool. 2005, Christian Slater and Tara Reid and Steven Dorff, Alone in the Dark.
Really?
Yeah. And I thought, like, because I've never played the game, but I remember always reading trivia about this. It has like a 2-disc heavy metal soundtrack, which shows in the movie. And reading the trivia on it, saying like basically Uwe Boll showed footage to the producers, and they gave him like $10 million more dollars, and he just dumped that all into special effects. And I think the special effects are pretty cool in the movie. And I don't know, I like it. I don't find anything really wrong with it. Alone in the Dark 2 is not good. It has no connection. They even change the ethnicity of the main character, and but I actually like this one.
I might have to watch this. I'm a fan of Christian Slater, so I might have to watch this one. Maybe.
Nope.
Nope.
One
that I will watch is my number 8.
Yeah.
Nice segue, huh? 2007, Timothy Olyphant, Hitman.
That's honorable mention as well. That almost made my list.
I know it's
not my number 3.
It's your number 3. It's
my
not
number 3.
Uber religious to the game, but it's Timothy Olyphant for starters, right?
Right.
And yeah, that's pretty much all that needs to be said. You just got to watch it because he's in it.
I saw that in the theater on, I think it was opening night in London, and it was a packed theater. But I do remember that the credits were so short that we let people go out ahead of us, and before the theater was empty, the credits were over.
That's fast.
That is fast, yeah.
Hitman
and Hitman Agent 47 were both in my honorable mentions.
I haven't seen the remake, so I don't know.
It's kind of like I wouldn't put it in the same category as the Hellboy remake. They just kind of took a different cast, went a different direction, but I thought it was still a good movie.
I should watch it, take my own advice where I can't criticize something till I see it, I should.
Yeah, I can't. I'm surprised I never got around to watching it. It's right in the. It's kind of the one of the movies that I get drawn to is that style. So, but I do remember the original with Timothy Olyphant very well. I remember it proved Timothy Olyphant could work as a badass action star, which he has not gotten enough of, in my opinion. But it just he killed it. I wasn't super familiar with the game, so how true it was to the game, I can't say. But it was a good movie. It was a lot of fun. It had a neat its own little mythos with the organization he worked for and everything. So that's why it's higher on my list, because it was I thought it was really, really good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, we are back to you, Jason, for number 7.
Number 7, 2001, Lara Croft Tomb Raider.
Oh yeah,
the first one. Second one was okay, but was weaker. And I have not seen the the remake at
What
all.
year was that?
So
The remake
the
is in my honor. The remake is in my honorable mentions.
that's with Alicia Vikander.
Yeah. I liked about 3/4 of Cradle of Life. And then when they turned Gerard Butler bad, just like that for no reason, I'm just like, what? He was so cool. And
That's one of the things why I didn't put the sequel on my list. But the first one, I thought Angelina Jolie crushed it. She was really good Lara Croft, coming from, because I was a fan of the original games. I played the first 3 games a lot, and they really brought it to life. They gave us Lara Croft on the big screen, and it worked on all levels.
Oh yeah. What year was that?
2001.
Okay. We'll be talking about the other one coming up.
Oh, I have no doubt.
James, number 7.
Number 7, from 2016, and my favorite of this franchise, Resident Evil: The Final Chapter.
Why? Because it's over.
No, because I like all of them, and I used to love the first 2 the most, and then I still liked the third one. The fourth one was the first one in 3D, which had good 3D, but I didn't like the story as much at the time. And then Retribution comes out, and they bring back a bunch of characters, and it's almost like they're trying to escape a video game. But when they put out Resident Evil: The Final Chapter, and I'm watching this movie, and the visual effects, the cinematography, and the soundtrack, which was far better than this kind of movie would deserve, like the score, I just thought it was a really well done, and I wish they had done as good a job earlier on the other movies as they did on this one, but I thought it was a great way to close out the series.
And see, I watched everything up to the one like before that. It got to the end of it, and it's like I just can't waste energy on this franchise anymore. But I should finish the ride. I should check out the last one, because, like you said, it sounds like it's the best one of the lot at the end.
In my opinion.
Yeah. Oh,
I don't even think I made it past the second one. So
I've seen his opinion. Okay. Justice League over it. Yeah. No. Okay. I'm never watching it. No, I'll be watching it. My number 7. This one's fun because Cam and I watched it, and Cam does not like this movie, but I very much do. 2019. Like, what's better than Deadpool in a Pokemon? Okay. Detective Pikachu.
I still haven't seen this one.
It is so much fun.
That's my number 1.
That's your number 1? Yes.
That is my number 1.
Wow.
That movie, I was just a perfect Pokemon movie. Like, it was that we got Pokemon in a live action film. Okay. Yeah. It looked phenomenal. The story was fantastic. The acting was great. And when I say the story was fantastic, I cried. Okay. I cried.
This is the one that I looked at. I'm going, it has nothing to do with the game. Okay. Literally. But it's so cool, and it's fun to see the Pokemon flying around as they're walking through the forest. My favorite is the opening when they go to catch your Cubone, and the guy goes to catch it. It jumps out and it starts chasing after him, and they're running away from this little Cubone with the guy's gets winging a bone, and it's like, this is awesome.
Mm-hmm. I can't wait for them to do more. Like, they should be doing, every Pokemon movie should be made like that now. Like,
yeah,
because that just worked.
Maybe not Deadpool as Pikachu, but it was fun. But some of the stuff that came out of Pikachu's mouth, it was more geared toward Deadpool than it was Pikachu.
I guarantee you that what the voice he gave to that is exactly what's coming out of the real Pikachu's mind. Okay.
You think?
Oh, come on. Pikachu was a prick. He was a jerk.
Yeah, he was. Oh my God. And then the interrogation of Mr. Mime. I loved the interrogation of Mr. Mime. Yeah.
I really do love that movie.
James, I will watch Resident Evil Afterlife Final Chapter. You have to watch Pikachu's Detective.
Yes.
There we go. Or Detective Pikachu. Oops.
Yes.
Detective.
Okay, Jason, number 6.
Number 6. Now, I know this is not a good movie, but this is a guilty pleasure flick for me. It is silly, cheesy, goofy, but it's got a lot of eye candy.
It's the
From
Annie remake. I'm just asking for a friend. James wanted me to ask.
What?
From
What?
2006, DOA Dead or Alive.
Oh God.
I know, but
Oh.
I know it's there. There is
I put
very
this
little.
as outside of the eye candy. I put this in the category of people kept telling me, "Don't watch Street Fighter: The Legend of Chun-Li. Don't watch it. It's incredibly bad," and I didn't believe them. And so I did it with DOA. I'm like, these women are so hot. How bad can this movie be?
Well, funny you.
I admit that the story is by far crap. Okay, I admit that.
However, had Jason not instituted the rule of one, I would have had House of the Dead maybe on this list. So to each his own.
This game is probably the most game realistic movie because literally, how many people played that game for the game? Nobody.
Oh, that's
No.
true. That's the reason
we played it for the boob physics,
Right.
Yeah.
and then for the beach volleyball mini games, which they included a beach volleyball scene in the movie.
And why
It's like
did we
that-
watch his movie?
It's like that video game Outlaw Golf. Nobody played it for golf. They played it to beat up the caddy.
Right.
That's why I played Mutant League Football. Same thing.
Yeah.
So again, I know it is not a good movie, but it is one of my favorites. I revisit it fairly regularly. It just sets your brain off. It's fun.
Well, I'm gonna check that out because I haven't watched it. I keep seeing it, and it's like, oh, I want to watch it for, the story.
You got Jamie Presley, Devin Aoki, Eric Roberts plays the villain. Kevin Nash is in there as Jamie Presley's dad and tag team partner because they're professional wrestlers.
Of course.
And I'm forgetting one other person, but I can't remember who. But it's got a fun cast and it's cheesy fun. And it's not over the top. Like the violence is all your wire fighting, kung fu, and whatnot. So, and there's no blood or anything like that. So it's okay for kids for the most part. And there you go.
Yeah.
Okay, you sold me. I'll watch it.
All right.
James, number 6.
Number 6 from 2016, and I have very little experience with this game or anything. Warcraft.
Really?
I thought this movie was higher on my list. I thought it was for not knowing much about the mythology or the games. I thought this movie and the voice acting was incredibly impressive.
It's my number 5.
My number 1.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not alone.
No, it was good. It was better than I expected. It wasn't what I'd hoped they were going to give us, but it took them so long to finally get that movie made. So, we can just be thankful for what we got. But it was really well done.
Yeah, and had they listened to the international box office, it made money, just not here.
Yeah, exactly. I love the mythos.
I think that kind of and that's where some people gripe that it doesn't actually follow the actual mythos of the game fully on. I can't say for sure. I'm not too steeped in the mythos of the World of Warcraft and all.
But it does.
But it does?
Oh,
okay. See, I had somebody telling me when I mentioned that it was on my list. They were telling me that, oh no, it doesn't follow the history and all that. But
there's two minor
it doesn't
differences.
matter.
what's his name? Gul'dan didn't kill the guy at the end,
Okay.
right? But the guy does die, and I can't remember what the second one was. But there are minor differences for the effect of the story, which I don't mind. But
I thought it was really well done, and it was nice to see Travis Fimmel because I've only ever seen him in Vikings. I loved him on Vikings, and I haven't seen him in anything else. So it's
yep,
great to see him again.
If you want a great movie with Travis Fimmel, Clayne Crawford, and stuff in it, and Billy Bob Thornton. Watch a movie called The Baytown Outlaws. They play like a trio of criminal brothers who like kidnap this handicapped kid to ransom or whatever. But the three brothers are just hilarious, and Travis Fimmel is sort of like the head brother.
Okay. Baytown Outlaws.
now you got one to watch.
Yeah.
Let me see. My number 6. I only watched it once, but I really enjoyed it when it first came out, and I want to check it out again. 2010's Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time.
I liked that. I only saw it once as well.
I just watched it last week as well for the first time.
Really?
Sonic and that were the two movies that came up in my research that I had never seen, so I figured I'd watch them. It made my honorable mentions. It was good. But
Nice.
some of the characters didn't quite work for me a little bit, but I did enjoy it. It was it was Disney trying to capture that same Pirates of the Caribbean kind of
Yeah,
adventure feel and all.
exactly.
So it was fun. It was good. And Gyllenhaal was great in it. Some of these side characters I could have probably done without.
See, and that's just it. I know I need to revisit it because, like I said, I've only legit watched it once in the theater when it first came out. So I don't know what it's really like. I just know what it felt like in the theater that night.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ian McShane is one of the side. Maybe not Ian McShane. Sorry, no. Alfred Molina,
Yeah.
Right.
Doctor Octopus. He's one of the side characters, and his character he was fun. He was funny, but I don't know. It just didn't quite fit with everything else, in my opinion.
And it's not Dr. Octopus, it's Satovo. Raiders. That's what
Oh. Oh, okay. That's a long time ago.
Yes. All right. Number 5. Jason, we know you're number 5. Warcraft. James.
Yep.
Number 5.
My number 5 from 2018, which gave us the alternate universe government employee version of Negan, Rampage.
That's my number 2.
That is where is it down here? Number 3.
This movie's just fun from beginning to end.
Exactly.
Right. But based on a concept that shouldn't work.
I know, just a bunch of monsters destroying buildings and stuff.
That's legit. That's the entire game.
But they gave it for by movie standards, they gave it a logical explanation, with logical conclusions, really fun action, really the stuff between the Rock and the gorilla it's just hilarious, especially the end. Like,
Yeah.
it again, when you look at it on paper, it shouldn't work, but it does
incredibly well. Yeah.
Yes.
And the really cool thing was there is a Rampage video game all throughout that movie.
Yep.
In the office.
Yeah, in the office.
Yes,
that and the way the movie opens up, you'd almost think it was a space horror movie.
That was the other thing I loved, and I'm desperately searching right now, looking for the character's name.
The Easter egg.
That rat at the beginning
is
actually
the rat.
A playable character, but only on the Atari version of Rampage.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a beautiful little Easter egg to toss in there,
Mm-hmm. I would agree.
And yeah, like I said, it's fun to watch The Rock in pretty much anything.
Well, yeah.
That character, especially with the gorilla, yeah. It's like I want more. I really do.
The gorilla playing dead at the end.
Yes.
Oh God.
Hey, hey, your eye open.
My favorite's the beginning when George scares the new guy.
Oh
He goes,
yeah.
God.
no, 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 cry, and he beat his pants, and he starts to laugh.
Then he gives him a fist bump. You did good.
Oh yeah, that's such a fun movie.
Yes.
Where are we? Oh, number 5. Oh, for me, I lost track as we all picked that one, so it's kind of scattered numbers. Just plug this in. My next one is from 2008, and I got to be honest, I did not watch it until last year.
Wow.
I had a fun time watching it. Is Max Payne?
It's my number 3.
Is it?
Yeah.
And I got to
It's
be
on my
honest,
honorable mentions.
I only watched it because Mary Anthony was coming to CKX.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I got to check out the work. And I've watched it half a dozen times since because it's just a fun little ride, you know?
I put it in my honorable mentions only because I don't remember much of it. I do remember that it was pretty good, but I don't remember enough of it. I watched it once when it first came out, and I haven't looked back. And I do like Mark Wahlberg a lot. So,
With
but
the great
maybe it's another one I need to revisit.
Yeah,
I
with the-
remember I watch it all the time, and it's got I think it's incredibly cool. And for whatever reason, I don't like her music at all, but Nelly Furtado's cameo in the movie as Max's dead partner's wife, she has one of the single best scenes in the movie
yeah.
at the wake. Is like, say what you will about her music, but her acting in that movie was great.
Now, number 4. Finally, a new one from Jason.
From 2016, Ratchet and Clank.
I haven't watched that yet.
I'm a big fan of those games. And
Yeah.
yes, the movie does alter the storyline from the game, and that's why they made a new Ratchet and Clank game for PS4 that was based off the movie version.
Yeah.
But it captured all of the fun of the games. They really did it justice. And if you have not played any of the Ratchet and Clank games, they are hilarious and a lot of fun. And the movie was able to capture all of that.
Especially Captain Quark.
Oh yes, Captain Quark is just he's a Looney Tunes character.
Ryan just messaged in. Max Payne as a movie is okay, but nothing like the game. Should have renamed the movie and character. Okay, we do see that a lot where stuff comes out and it's like, why did you even reference that? You know? And I got to be honest, I've never played Max Payne either.
They're just going for the name recognition.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That was exactly it. But the Ratchet and Clank, that was a franchise my mother just ate up. Anything. She went out and bought a PSP because they had 2 exclusive games.
Oh yeah.
Literally, she never played any other game on there but Ratchet and Clank. So that movie came out just after she passed.
Oh.
And it was like, no, I just can't. Could not do it. And then I forgot about it. So
Well,
I have to visit it. I have to check it out.
you know, you might be able to tell. Okay, she would have dug this. You know, that sort of thing. So it could be a little cathartic for you.
From the commercials, I could tell she would have loved it. You know.
Oh. You want to talk about commercials? How about the promotional commercials for the games, where they were showing the weapons?
Oh yeah.
The weapon in the real world. So they had the chicken gun.
Oh,
the best one was the decoy. They had the decoy that gets
on
hit
the
by
riding
the car.
lawnmower.
The lady running down the street. Get up!
remember that? Yes,
Yeah, they had some great commercials.
I forgot.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was. Yeah, I gotta watch it this weekend. That's what I'm doing.
All right.
James, number 4.
Number 4. This was mentioned by that other James, I think. 2006, the original Silent Hill. I thought this movie was incredibly creepy, and we were screening it, and one of the guys I worked with, a friend of mine, was very familiar with the games that I hadn't played yet. So when it got to a certain point in the movie, when things start turning dark, he started to freak out just a little bit.
Yep.
I thought it's a very cool movie. The sequel isn't great. It did have some decent 3D, but Jon Snow with an American accent didn't really work for me. It's visually a pretty interesting movie, but it's one of those, they kind of wanted to start over, but still connected to the first. So you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot.
Yeah.
So, but the original I thought was great.
Now, does the film have that big, was his name Pyramid Head or whatever?
Yes.
The second one does.
The first one does as well. Yeah, he's in the first one. Yeah.
Because remember London Comic Con? That first time we
Yes.
went, Rob, there was a guy that had a cosplay costume of that.
That guy was amazing.
It was huge.
That would be an awesome cosplay costume to see.
Oh, dude.
He had to be like 10 to 12 feet tall
Yeah.
with his sword thing that was probably at least 12 feet long.
And just like the game, he's dragging it everywhere.
Yeah. Well, he couldn't go very far from the main entrance.
Well, coincidentally enough, my number 4 is 2006 Silent Hill.
Yeah.
This is one of the ones I felt was really close to the game, especially atmosphere wise.
Oh man.
You know, it is creepy as hell. Such a fun movie.
I've never been a fan of survival horror games. Like I played the original Resident Evil back in the day, but I didn't really get into them too much. Just not my thing. But I had a friend who was big into Silent Hill, and he freaked himself out playing the game one night. He was working midnight, so his night off. 2 in the morning, he had his surround sound going, and he starts hearing whispers behind him. And he's okay, I'm done.
Yeah. The funny thing is, I never played the first two. I briefly played the third one, but the third one I bought, it came with the soundtrack. So I played a prank on my buddy who got freaked out by the movie, and he comes into the office one day, and I start playing the soundtrack, and he's like, no. But I actually played, the only one I've really played extensively was, one of them was Silent Hill 4 The Room, and that's the only video game that literally, it creeped me out a little.
I don't think I've played that one.
That's the one where the guy's stuck in his apartment, and then he finds a portal, like a hole in his bathroom, and he crawls through it, and he goes into the world of Silent Hill. But that's how he gets back and forth. It's really.
I know, I loved it, and then I played the second one, and I stopped playing.
Well, the 4 is intense.
I might have to try that. Okay, well, number 3. Nobody has to say anything. We've already announced all of them. Jason, Hitman. James, Max Payne. Me, Rampage.
Yeah. So back around to Jason.
And number 2,
Rampage.
There we go.
Oh, right.
So we're back to James.
Okay. I don't know if this is going to be on anyone else's list, but from 2016, I love this movie. And to this day, as far as I know, it has the longest set of end credits of any movie I've ever seen that I'm aware of.
Guardians of the Galaxy 2?
I think these credits are legitimately just about 15 minutes long. Wow. I think it's an amazing movie. Assassin's Creed.
Ah.
Oh, never watched it. I honestly have not heard very much about it, period. I don't know too many people who've actually watched it.
I've watched it, and it's good. Like, it's on my honorable mention. Michael Fassbender's great.
Yes. Jeremy Irons, Marion Cotillard, Brendan Gleeson a little bit, Charlotte Rampling's in there, Michael K. Williams. No, I thought it was amazing. And if you've seen Justin Kurzel's previous film, he did his version of Macbeth with Marion Cotillard and Michael Fassbender. And while I'm not a fan of the play Macbeth, the movie is freaking beautiful. And he likes to use a lot of smoky effects, and he brought that over to Assassin's Creed. But the visuals in this movie, and while it doesn't really adhere to any of the story in the previous games that I'm aware of, they just kind of take the process they use and make their own story. It worked for me.
I found Assassin's Creed to be one of the ones. You have three types of video game movies. You have the ones everybody loves, right? Then you have the ones that everybody loves, but it's not related to the game. And then you have the ones that everybody hates, but it's because it's not related to the game. And a lot of the criticism I heard from Assassin's Creed, and even like I've played the games and I know it didn't follow a lot of the story.
Yeah.
Seemed to be one of those movies that it made people hate it as opposed to love it, like Rampage, right?
Yeah.
But I think it's great. Like I said, I'm just a big fan of Michael Fassbender too, so
Yes.
that helps.
Yeah.
I probably should check it out sometime.
Let me see. My number 2, and we mentioned it briefly earlier, sort of. It's 2018 Tomb Raider.
Ah,
I knew it. I knew it.
This game, and I think I said it when I watched it when it first came out, you're watching it and you can see the video game in it. Like,
well, they did design the latest that latest video game with her.
yeah,
And I
So
believe
they were trying to do that bridge.
and I
clearly.
believe they are planning a sequel to this.
2021.
Yes.
Yeah. But I mean, like, there's a scene in there with a plane. The biggest one, and it's when it jumped out at me, is when she's on a ship and it's wrecking up against the rocks. So she comes out and she looks, and there's rocks and there's water, and up above is the bottom of the railing on the second floor. Oh, look, it's a level. You have to hang underneath and crawl across. Like it's legit a level. Okay.
Yeah.
And there's a level with a plane. She has to get from one side of this plane to the other that's bridging a chasm, and it's breaking. And it's like, this is a freaking video game. So, and she was great. Like,
Yeah.
she obviously didn't mimic the character in the video game, but other than that,
She worked her ass off for this movie.
Yeah. Well, if you compare it to the video game, she worked something else off. But she nailed Laura Croft. Sorry, that was bad. She nailed Laura Croft. You know what I mean?
And then you get supporting characters like Walton Goggins and Dominic West.
Oh, dude, I still can't stand Dominic West because of that movie.
Really?
Yeah.
He's that good as a bad guy?
He's evil.
He's not. Walton Goggins is the bad guy. Dominic West is father.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's not a bad guy in the movie.
No, sorry. He was a bad guy in another movie, and I couldn't look at him as a good guy in that movie. That's what it was.
I wonder which one that was, because I had a friend who had that same reaction with Gary Sinise. They didn't like him because of how horrible a person he was in Ransom.
That's just good acting.
Oh, no, I know. And I didn't understand it either, but that just means how good of an actor he is. But
right.
I'm trying to
not love Lieutenant Dan. Come on now.
I'm just trying to think of the Dominic West bad guy performance. 300?
That's it.
That was a pretty slimy character.
Yeah. Yeah, that was
You
it.
will not enjoy this.
That's exactly the one. Okay, we're good now. Anyway, that's my number 2. So, literally, Jason and I are done for number 1s. Jason's Detective Pikachu, and I'm Warcraft.
Can I just throw up? I got 2 more honorable mentions I just want to throw up real quick.
Go for it.
And again, kind of cheesy, and I don't think there's an actual story for them to play off of, but 1999's Wing Commander.
Okay.
Matthew Lillard and Freddie Prinze Jr.
Yeah. I was a big fan of those games.
I never really played the game, so I don't know storyline-wise, but I dug it. It had a weird style to it.
It was actually directed. It was directed by the guy who created the video games.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that kind of explains a little bit of some of the visuals and whatnot. But that's why it's on my honorable mention. It's not great, but it's one that I rewatched quite a few times.
It's fun.
And then a weird one, but when in my research, I found out that this movie is technically based in the world from a video game franchise. And that's 2014's Batman Assault on Arkham.
The
Suicide Squad animated film?
Yeah.
That is in the universe for the Arkham Asylum video games.
Oh,
Really?
interesting.
I don't know the full threads. I never did go back and find out what the threads are, but it came up in a list of films based on video games. And when I clicked on it, it just said it's set in the world of the Arkham Asylum games.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check that
But
out.
Intriguing.
But because it's so loosely connected, probably that's why I didn't put it in my top 10. Because honestly, that would have been in my top 10 for sure if it had a more solid connection. I just thought it was an interesting pull to throw in my honorable mentions.
Very.
And yes, my number one is Detective Pikachu. I've already gone on about that.
Yes. Mine's Warcraft. So James.
Well, I was about to say I doubt this was going to be on anybody else's list, and now I know for sure it's not. I've only played one of these games. It's from 2014, and for the majority of 2014, it was my favorite movie until Interstellar came out, and then the contest was over. Need for Speed.
Really?
Yes.
I thought about it, and it was okay, but it was trying to delve into the realm of Fast and Furious, and I'm sorry, you can't.
I get it. I get it. I thought I dug the characters and the way they told the story, and I was surprised at how good of an actor Kid Cudi was. I'm a big fan of Aaron Paul and Dominic Cooper and Imogen Poots, and then the music, the way they throw in Linkin Park at the end, and I loved it. I loved it a lot. And I don't remember if I saw it in 3D. No, actually, I had to see it in 3D because we only played it in 3D. I just don't remember any 3D elements.
That's not a good sign.
Well, no, I mean, 3D. There's only been a few movies that have impressed me, and that in 3D wise, and that was Piranha, Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, Wrath of the Titans, and Silent Hill. The second Silent Hill movie, whatever the hell it's called, they had decent 3D, and not always great movies, but no, I don't remember anything 3D wise from like Need for Speed or Captain America or any of the other Marvel movies.
See,
but they don't need 3D to be awesome.
There's only two movies I vividly remember for 3D. It's Sanctum, the cave one, because it was so claustrophobic. And two is Doctor Strange, because
I wish I had seen that in 3D.
I will agree. Doctor Strange, the 3D worked because of the multi realms and all that stuff. That those effects just took it over the top for sure.
Popped, especially that whole street scene when the buildings are moving and twisting, and the 3D just adds to it. So that one definitely.
Yeah.
What I always attribute that to is they saw what they did in Inception, and said, "Hold my beer."
It's the Marvel Inception. It's the Marvel Inception movie. Totally.
Okay.
Right.
Now, Ryan posted this, and it almost made my list.
No.
This wasn't a number one across the board.
I have not ever had the desire to see that movie.
Now,
I haven't watched it in a very long time, but Xander asked us to watch it. We never got around to actually watching it when he was home. But Xander is curious to see it, so maybe he'll be home in a couple weeks for a weekend. Maybe I'll try and squeeze it in with him.
Seriously.
I was surprised. They finally put out like a collector's edition Blu-ray of Super Mario's, and it was like freaking $30.
Dude, Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo as Mario and Luigi.
Dennis Hopper with spiky hair as
King Koopa, right?
Yeah, he was Koopa.
Yes,
I don't know if he had King in the title.
Isn't that the turtle?
No, that was the fire.
You're right. No, yeah, he was. Koopas are supposed to be the turtles,
right?
But and Bowser is supposed to be. That's the big.
Oh,
guy,
that's right.
But Dennis Hopper was just Koopa. He was just King Koopa.
Yeah, that's so much fun. It is okay. It's so bad, it's good. Okay,
I don't know.
What, like-
I'll let you know if I revisit it. If I do get the chance to revisit it with Xander, I'll let you know if it holds up.
Do
Please.
a double feature, that and Double Dragon.
There we go.
Oh, come on now. Well, you know what? I can't see that because I like Mark Dacascos in pretty much anything. So, you know, that's kind of already loaded for me.
Have you seen Brotherhood of the Wolf?
Yes.
Okay.
I hear House of the Dead's pretty good.
He's not in that.
He's not in that.
No, I know. I just want to bring up the title.
Mark
Oh,
Dacascos
okay.
prefers to do good movies.
Oh, and on that note, for another week at the Movie Madhouse, I'm Rob.
I'm James.
I'm Jason.
We'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Toodles.
I say shut up! It's a madhouse!